Good morning, everybody. The Redevelopment Agency meeting of March 16, 2011 is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. And these proceedings are being presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 and are closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers. The Redevelopment Agency meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, can be viewed on the city's website at www.kclv.tv. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 and the web the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m. and also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 1 p.m. As we do before any council meeting or redevelopment agency meeting, we advise the audience that this building is protected by a state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system. So should alarms activate, please leave through the exits. Our marshals will tell you when it's safe to return. Okay. We'll go to item number 3, approval of the final minutes by reference of the regular redevelopment agency meeting of February 16, 2011.
Yes, Your Honor. No additions or deletions. I make a motion to approve those minutes.
Thank you. Let's vote on that, please. Post. Motion carries. The record should reflect that Councilman Wilson is excused. He wasn't feeling well yesterday, and we predicted that he probably should be resting a little bit today, so he's excused. Item number 4 is RA 3 2011, discussion and possible action regarding a resolution finding the project proposed by the Commercial Visual Improvement Program, CVIP, agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency, the RDA, and Fremont Place, LLC, CVIP participant, located at 228 North Las Vegas Boulevard, to be in compliance with and in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the redevelopment plan, and authorizing the execution of the CVIP agreement by the RDA not to exceed $18,000 from the RDA Special Revenue Fund. This is Award 5, and the item is related to Council Item number 39. Mr. Arndt.
Thank you. Good morning. For the record, Bill Arndt, Director, Economic and Urban Development. This project, as you mentioned, introducing the item, is part of our visual improvement program, where we give a matching grant to businesses to fix up their storefronts in the redevelopment area. Before you on the overhead is a picture of the current property. It's catty-corner to the current City Hall campus on North Las Vegas Boulevard. The owner is looking to do significant improvements, including repair and repaint of the stucco, new neon signage, which is required by the Las Vegas Boulevard Scenic Byway Program, installing new landscape, and also sealing and striping of the parking lot. The owner is also working on obtaining a franchise agreement from 7-Eleven for the property to open up a new store. Upon completion, the owner will be investing approximately $300,000 into the property and is eligible for a VIP award. We are recommending an award of $18,000. Upon completion, approximately 8 full-time and 6 part-time jobs will be created. With me today is a representative of the owner, Nissan Karogli, and I'd like to invite him to say a few remarks.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Arndt. Mr. Karogli.
Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Well, we're looking forward to open up with the 7-Eleven, and the timeline is going to be sometimes in May, between late May and June. And we're excited, and we're going to bring the car wash back again like it used to be. I know that, when I left at the beginning, we leased it out and there were some problems. So I'd like to come back again and run it myself, and hopefully with all your help coming in and use our facility, will be successful.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions of either Mr. Arndt or Mr. Karogli? I have one. You going to have a shoe shine stand there?
I'd like to get the chief back. I don't know where he is, but
we'll find the chief.
You remember, Chief.
I said we'll find him.
Oh, well, if you find him, he is welcome anytime.
Okay, very good. Gives a good shoe shine.
Yes.
Okay.
Could I ask what date this picture was taken?
This is a rendering showing what the owner wants to do with the property. The pictures are recent. They were shot within the past few weeks. The current.
I was just checking the price of gas
No.
to see. $3.08 seemed pretty good to
Yeah,
me.
the owner can say
Premium.
if that offer is
That's
good
for
right
half
now.
a gallon.
Half a gallon. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
see
how
that
they
on
do it
there.
now for-
We don't want any bad advertising. Thank you.
Very good. Councilman Barlow.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning to you.
Good morning.
Talk to me in relation to your landscaping plan, because I'm big on landscaping, specifically with the revitalization of this corner that has really took a dive after you left the facility.
Right.
I mean, it really turned into a dump, lack of a better term. When you and your brother was running it, I mean, it was a upstanding venue. All the city employees and county employees would come and leave their vehicles for hours, knowing that it was in safe hands. The way in which you were operating it was bar none. Unfortunately, those that you leased it out to run and operate just really drove it into the ground. And today it looks like it's still on the ground. So talk to us about the aesthetic look and the presence and the landscaping, how in fact you look forward to revitalizing and resuscitating your development on the corner.
I've been working with my contractor for a long time, and also we're going to have a meeting with RDA, I believe. Yes, and they're going to let us know what needs to be done. So hopefully with their input and what needs to be done with the coloring, I'm definitely going to do my best to make it presentable, especially with Zappos people coming in, and I like to get the more customers in. So I want to make it good enough and
So
look
you're looking
enough
to resurface the parking lot. You're looking to
Oh, yeah, of course.
add additional stucco, the landscaping, the planters. Talk
Oh,
to
yeah,
me
the
about all
paint,
those aesthetic things.
I don't have the details.
Just talk to me about it.
Well, the neon sign is going to be there all around. It's going to be extra lighting. The parking lot is going to be paved. Definitely around the perimeter is going to be new landscaping. Inside definitely is going to be way different because we're spending a lot of money inside. And
What about the 7-Eleven, the component of the 7-Eleven? Are you a franchisee for the 7-Eleven?
yes, I just got the contract last week because there is a waiting period before I sign it, and it's going to be signed the next couple of days.
Okay.
And 7-Eleven is going to be, and we're working with Sinclair
Gas?
Gas. We're in negotiations, see if we can bring in instead of being an independent gas station. So hopefully, if that works out, then Sinclair is going to be combined with the 7-Eleven, and I think that'll be a good match.
Well, I can truly say this, that by having the 7-Eleven brand right here on Las Vegas Boulevard, and with the upgrades that you're looking to bring in onto this corner, will most definitely be an added attraction to all of the developments that are taking place in and around the downtown community. And so we look forward to you doing your part in lifting that corner up that is slightly blighted at this point. But to turn some lights on and make it look very attractive is very promising. So I would like to move forward with a recommendation of approval of this item subject to all conditions, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help.
Thank you.
And please, everybody, we need your help to come back to the car wash again.
Okay, let's vote on that, please. Post. Motion carries. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Item number 5 is report and possible action regarding redevelopment agency projects currently under contract or negotiation, other projects proposed or under construction within or near the redevelopment area, and to provide an overview of programs and initiatives. And this is wards 1, 3, and 5. Mr. Arnott.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a brief PowerPoint that we do every quarter, and I'm going to go over projects that are both under construction as well as some new projects that you haven't seen before. One new opportunity that we have as part of the Think Forward reorganization is that we're being organized so that all of the job-creating function within really the entire city is housed in one department. Our new department being Economic and Urban Development, where we have redevelopment, economic development, and housing. And the common focus, of course, is jobs. And so hopefully, as I go through the presentation, you can see the impact that we're having in that area. The first project we've talked a lot about. We're still in progress for the Zappos campus. The entire development team has been up and down the building and has a real good feel for what it's going to cost to renovate the building for Zappos and their new downtown headquarters. We are continuing to go through due diligence. We have accomplished appraisals for the property and some land use changes, which enables them to take the property since it needs to go from a civic use to a commercial. So that's being done. We are going to come back to you with those appraisals, which will substantiate the price, and I think you'll be pleased to know that we've negotiated a good package that not only is beneficial for Zappos, but is beneficial for the city. So look for that shortly in an upcoming council meeting. The Smith Center for the Performing Arts, literally this project is physically changing every week. You see here a photo from several weeks ago, and it doesn't show all of the new progress that's been done with the exterior, with the Indiana limestone going onto the exterior. You see here some waterproof cladding, which sits beneath the exterior. But the project is on schedule and on budget. We continue to see a big, heavy construction employment on the job site, and it's a wonderful project. We also had a lecture series where we had the full design team at the Fifth Street School to explain how, as exciting as the exterior is, the inside of the building is going to be phenomenal. And we look forward to the opening in March of next year. Cleveland Clinic, we're finalizing negotiations for a development agreement for the parcels in Symphony Park that you see highlighted there in red, parcels A2, B, J, and K, which will really round out a medical campus to be developed over time to bring in new specialty clinics into Las Vegas, and we're excited about that partnership. We anticipate going to the City Council next month with an agreement. City Hall construction, the building is over half complete. We've started to install the glass on the exterior, and what's exciting about this project is we've set what we think is an aggressive goal for inclusive participation with our contracting for minority contractors and women contractors, and we set that goal with the developer, Forest City, of 15%. Currently, they're hitting about 22%. So we think they will achieve or exceed the goal of 15%, and we're delighted to see the progress not only on the building, but to see the impact that it's having for construction jobs in the community. CIM Lady Luck, the owner of the Lady Luck Resort Gaming Group, in partnership with the CIM Group, submitted a full set of plans December of last year, and they're under review with the building department. The developer is also working on a retail project to be basically envelop the post office block and the Mob Museum, and you can see a rendering there of what the Lady Luck will look like upon completion, and it'll certainly benefit from the dollars that we're putting into the upgrading of the utilities along Stewart Avenue. Nevada Health Centers, this is a project that we recently took to you for approval at Council, and we're excited that they're moving as fast as we can move. They're looking to do a groundbreaking ceremony the end of this month on March 28th, and we certainly invite everyone in the community out to join us in the celebration. Not only will this provide new construction jobs, but also new permanent jobs. They're relocating and consolidating some jobs currently in the community, but even more importantly, they're going to be hiring 8 new positions, and we're working with Nevada Health Centers to hold a job fair for the community so that as many jobs as possible, both not only in the construction end, but for the permanent operations, can be filled by area residents.
Mr. Arndt, Mayor?
Yes.
I just wanted to let the residents know that are viewing, if we can go back to the overhead, please, that this Nevada Health Centers is located within the Enterprise Park, right on Stella Lake, directly across just east of the Bolden Area Command. And with this 30,000 square foot facility coming into the Enterprise Park right adjacent to the new fire station that will be built inside the Enterprise Park as well, just lets you know the level of development that is coming into the historical West Las Vegas community. So I wanted to acknowledge that as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Also in Enterprise Park, we have our Business Development Center in partnership with the Chamber. We're still working through applications for tenant businesses. We're also going to be trying to get the Small Business Development Center from University of Nevada, Reno and Nevada, Las Vegas into the center. So we're excited about that partnership. And any entrepreneurs interested in space in the center, I'd urge them to contact either our office or the Urban Chamber, because it's really an exciting opportunity we have in Enterprise Park. The Artifice, one thing that we're going to continue to do is bring back projects that have been completed, so you can see the before and after, and you can see the finished product here of Artifice. It's an urban lounge in the Arts District. It benefited not only from the VIP, but also from our relaxation of the initial liquor license that we've waived, and we continue to do that for both the Arts District and the Entertainment District. You can see here almost $500,000 in exterior and interior improvements and 6 to 10 permanent jobs. Insert Coins is working towards an opening. This is in the Fremont East District. You can see here a rendering of what it's going to look like on East Fremont Street, and through a VIP grant, they're leveraging that. For every dollar we're putting in, they're putting in 10 into the interior and exterior, and we think it's going to be an exciting business opening in Fremont East. Business outreach program. One thing you do in a down economy is not only reach out to new business to bring them into the city, but you make sure that your existing industry has what they need to succeed. So we're continuing to meet with all of our major stakeholders, and we've had our third outreach meeting where the mayor, Betsy Fretwell, our city manager, and I met with the CEO of the World Market Center, Bob Marisich, and walked through everything that they're doing with the project. While they have slowed down the fast pace that they were building new buildings every 18 months, they really gave us a vote of confidence that the World Market Center is healthy and the home furnishings industry is healthy and is going to continue to do well in downtown Las Vegas. They're also looking to partner with us for development of Symphony Park. They have obviously a lot of parking at World Market Center that has a lot of downtime, so we look forward to continuing a dialogue with World Market Center to see how we can partner to make him successful and the World Market Center successful, as well as Symphony Park. Finally, there's some new policy initiatives that are going to be coming to a head next month, and we wanted to give you just a preview for that. We've been working vigorously with our city attorney's office to have a more aggressive employment plan policy, similar to what we did for the City Hall project, where we have a aggressive aspirational goal for hiring for inclusive hiring for both construction and permanent employment for all of our economic development and redevelopment projects, and we're going to bring that back to you at City Council next month. We're also going to be receiving a report from ADE, an economist in California who prepared a living wage study, and I think there's some great information that can help us in shaping policy for the redevelopment agency. And then finally, we're still seeking nominations for the Citizen Advisory Committee. We do need specific categories to be met to meet the bylaws of the committee. The main thing is that we need people that either work in the redevelopment area or live in the redevelopment area. And so if any citizen fits one of those two categories, I'd encourage you to contact City Redevelopment either by email or by phone at 229-6100. With that, I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, that great report. Any questions of Mr. Arendt or any comments?
Just some comments, Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Arndt, at the top of the screen there, I see economic development and jobs, and I know you spoke about the employment plan that the city's working on. Would you elaborate for a few minutes on what that employment plan, what the target is on that employment plan?
Sure. We're required by law to do an employment plan for redevelopment projects, but we think that the law doesn't really, quite frankly, go far enough. We want to make sure that everything we do from our office has an impact on jobs both for disadvantaged businesses as well as businesses that are located in the city and in our redevelopment area. So we are not only going to have a goal for hiring for disadvantaged businesses, the law has a couple categories for those, but also have a local hiring preference. That's something that we cannot do with our general purchasing of the city. The state law that dictates how we do our general purchasing, such as buying goods and services, we can't do a preference other than the preference that's already written into the law, but we can have a much more aggressive preference for what I would call our incentive projects. And so we're looking to do that for our economic development projects and our redevelopment projects so that we can get as many local residents in these jobs, both construction and permanent employment, because we think that we're really the main job engine of the Las Vegas Valley right now.
And if I may again, Your Honor, we have to be. And so I see that economic development on the top of the header here. So redevelopment has kind of changed to economic development, and I would like to see a more comprehensive jobs plan. As I look at an article in the Sun newspaper today from the Business Insider, Las Vegas tops the list of the 11 metropolitan areas where job recovery has failed. So I think you're absolutely right, and I think that needs to be in this presentation and a priority made of this city to create those jobs, whether it's in the redevelopment area or throughout the city of Las Vegas. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes, Councilman Barlow.
Yes, and I echo the sentiments of my colleague, Councilman Ross. Bill, can you elaborate as far as the local preference when it comes to economic development and redevelopment projects? I understand within the boundaries of the redevelopment agency we have the employment plan, but how do we reach outside the scope of the redevelopment area to capture the entire city when it comes to redevelopment projects?
That's
or
a great,
even economic development projects?
Sure, that's a great question. Redevelopment agency and really redevelopment really is economic development. It really fits all under that umbrella. So we see redevelopment as the major tool in our toolbox, but it's not the only tool. As we talked about this morning, we've had a major investment in Las Vegas Enterprise Park where we're trying to create new jobs. The redevelopment agency didn't buy that land. It was actually the city investing its dollars, and we're allowed to do that under state law, in buying land to do a business park. We're looking at replicating that model like we've done in Enterprise Park, like we've done at Spectrum Business Park, like we've done at Las Vegas Technology Center, to build new business parks. So we're certainly looking outside of the box of just redevelopment. And when we do that, we want to make sure that we're as inclusive as we can in the benefit that we're creating for the community. So we're doing that through hiring preferences. We're doing that through diverse hiring for both construction and permanent employment, for minority contractors, women contractors, disabled veteran. So we want to make sure whether you're doing business physically within the redevelopment area boundaries or not, if you're doing a project that has a benefit from the city, a dollar incentive benefit, then a job is a job wherever it's located, and every job is precious in this economy. We want to make sure that we can link those jobs to area residents as best we can. So really it's this new policy that we're doing really is an umbrella policy that really is going to reach into everything we do in our office.
Right. And in addition to that, over the years, so many outside companies and businesses have won bids and contracts and have taken jobs away from residents here, whether they were employed or unemployed, and have taken that money back to their various states or wherever they're headquartered. What is it that we're doing, or what is it that you propose, or what is it that we can do to keep the bids in-state so that the money remains in-state and our residents will have an opportunity to be gainfully employed from the jobs that are created here in the city of Las Vegas?
Well, let me throw out a caveat and then I'll answer the question. The caveat is, again, when we do general city purchasing, we have to fit in the state law, so we're not as flexible there. But for what our office is doing, I think the main thing is setting the bar high. If we don't set the bar high for these goals, then our partners aren't going to try to reach it. We have some great partners for all of our projects. Far City, with our City Hall project, is a great example. They have a 100-year history of being inclusive and making sure that they hire local and they hire diverse businesses to the extent that the law allows them to do it. So for all of our projects that we're offering incentives, we're going to set the bar high. We're going to sit down on day one with our partners and say, this is the bar, we need you to reach it. And we have a lot of confidence and trust in our partners that they're going to deliver, just like Forest City's delivering in City Hall. So I think a big part of it is making sure that we have a challenging goal. I think that this goal that we're going to introduce at Council next month will be the most aggressive, diverse hiring goal for any public agency in the state. And I think it's one that we can take a lot of pride in when we implement that goal. And then really it's just rolling up our sleeves and doing the hard work, project by project by project, working with our owner developers, making sure that they hire local, that they hire these disadvantaged businesses, and then they hit the goals and the targets that we set for them.
And this item that you're bringing before us on April 6th?
We're looking to bring it on April 6th.
Okay.
And it'll be, since it'll apply to both economic development and redevelopment, it'll be on our redevelopment agency meeting as well as our city council meeting.
Okay, great. And lastly, will there be some teeth in it as far as policing teeth on the back end for those that do not meet the threshold that is set by this new ordinance that's coming forward?
There will. Again, we have to, for hiring preferences, we certainly have to do things that the courts have ruled that we can do, but one of the things that we can do is what I would call almost like a sunshine requirement, that all of the reporting is going to be done out in the public, and all of our partners, they want to do a good job. They want to know what the goal is, and they're going to work hard to meet it. So we are going to report that to you on a regular basis. So we're going to have clear reporting. There's going to be a clear reporting from every project receiving incentives of $100,000 or greater. That every project is going to have clear reports, and you're going to see exactly what their success is. So not only is it the initial plan that they have on how they're going to do it, but we're going to report to you. If they don't provide the reports, the law allows, and we will do, withholding of their entire incentive. So if we award an incentive and they're not reporting to us so that we can show out in the open in a public meeting like this one this morning what they're doing, then we can withhold 100% of the incentive. And that's part of the policy and part of the teeth that we're putting into the policy.
And I appreciate that. It's been long coming, so I appreciate all the hard work and effort that you and your staff have put into this.
And
Thank
Councilor
you.
Barlow, as you know, there are proposed bills up in the legislature which will create a favorite son type doctrine, where local people will be given certain benefits and certain advantages over folks who do not live in the community.
Right.
And once that legislation is passed, I think we'll be in a position where we could really make a difference as far as making sure that the locals will benefit from the dollars that are expended here.
I'm looking forward to supporting that as well.
Right.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilman.
could I ask, what are you doing about the fact of the subcontractors not hiring locally? I know that this board has worked very hard so that we have local jobs, and we've pushed very hard for it. We thought we had it taken care of by some of the rules and regulations we've set up. But then when you talk with the working people or the union leaders, you find that many of the contractors with whom we work closely do hire subs that are not from in-state, and who hire workers who are
Sure.
not in-state. How are we going to be able to control that?
Well, it's a great question, and I think when we set the bar high, we're reaching down into those first and second tier subcontracts. We're reporting all the contracts, the dollar volume, and those percentage targets will be against the dollar volume. So every layer now has an incentive. In order to hit that goal, they're going to have to reach down into those layers. One of the other things we're doing is realizing that some of these large projects, like the ones we talked about this morning, have huge supply contracts. So we're looking at supplier contracts, vendor contracts, the finishings that go into some of these buildings. That's going to be part of the discussion, so that looking at a project holistically and realizing that it's not just about the concrete and the steel that maybe is going into these buildings. There's a lot that goes into these buildings, and so we're looking at every layer and every facet of these projects in
So
ensuring that we
every
can meet
layer
these
sort
goals.
of gives you more points to get your incentives?
More points towards reaching that goal of the diverse hiring. And again, we're going to be laying it out A to Z at the next council meeting when we introduce it. So I think you're going to see all the pieces there, and we'll be sure to do a good job of making it clear that how we're going to do that.
So we'll ask questions then. Okay, thank you. But I know that you're moving forward and trying to handle this little gap we've had between what we intended and what actually was occurring. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Mayor, can I respond to Councilwoman Tarkanian? And in regards to the mayor's comments, Councilwoman, in regards to legislation, there is that 5% bid preference that has changed, and I know it's passed through the Assembly. I'm not sure where it is, if it's gone to the Senate yet or not. Betsy? Yeah, 144. Assembly Bill 144. You want to talk on that just for a minute? Because I think this addresses those subcontractors as well in regards to what the requirements are. Do you know what those are, Betsy?
I'm not that familiar with all the breakout, but it does require that you prove that you have at least 50% of your employees residing locally through a whole variety of mechanisms to prove that up over time, and that as a disincentive for not meeting that criteria, if you had that bidder's preference, if you don't live up to that commitment, then you will be disqualified from future bidding and having that preferred status. So there's teeth in it, as well as some higher standards for local hiring in order to get a preference, which makes people more competitive. Now, I'm not sure, I believe that has already passed the first house and is in the second house,
Yeah.
but I don't think there's been a hearing on that one yet.
And that's what I think that's the status of it. But Councilwoman, as Bill indicated, suppliers and vendors also in that new 5% bid preference legislation, 25% of suppliers and vendors need to come from the state as well. And it does have some teeth, but I don't think it takes it to certainly the degree we'd like to see it at in regards to keeping Las Vegans and Southern Nevada's working. But it is a step in the right direction. So looking forward to a report on that in our next legislative briefing.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions? May I have a motion, please, Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, I move to accept the report, please.
Thank you. Let's vote, please. Opposed, please.
I'm not running for public office.
I know that.
I pushed the button.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Arndt. Item number 6 is citizens' participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the Redevelopment Agency. No subject may be acted upon by the Redevelopment Agency unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please come up and give us your name, and we'll put the 3-minute timer on.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Catherine Duncan, and I'm appalled that this agency continues to conduct itself in the manner that it's conducting it as it comes to hiring local people. You just reported 500 construction workers on the Smith Center. The law requires that 51% of these people be hired from the RDA, and you would be hard-pressed to find local residents hired on that project. We have to get this right. Mrs. Starkane, you said we're having a hard time closing this little gap. This is not a little gap. We're breaking the law here, people. You cannot continue to use redevelopment agency funds, give the money to the developers, and not require them to follow the law. Now, a city attorney will tell us that a state law doesn't require us to do it, but there's nothing to stop us from going above and beyond the state law to get local people hired. So if we're not going to follow the law with the redevelopment agency funds, we cannot use those funds. We have to get those monies from a different pot. Redevelopment agency funds are used to redevelop the blighted areas of town. And the areas that are blighted continue to suffer blight because you're not hiring the people in the agency that the agency was meant to hire. So when are we going to get it straight? When are we going to stop breaking the law so that we can get people in Las Vegas hired? Those are my comments.
Thank you. Anybody else?
My name is Hodge. I live 123 David. I'm complaining about this, Oscar. Over the years, I know you've been here 12, soon be. But moving this around, the redevelopment from 8:30 to 9, and then once in a while you don't hold it at all. When Jan was here and people before her, they held it at 9 o'clock, period. I mean, it was a part of the regular meeting, whatever. Sometimes they would even hold it at noon. But this 8 o'clock, 8:30, and 9, all that. moving all over the place, that's mostly your doing, Oscar, and that's wrong. I've had a lot of respect for you since you've been here. I've tried to be your friend and all that kind of stuff, but I don't want to say all that on this morning's meeting, except I want to go upstairs and thank the sheriff, which is another matter. His police officer was able to apprehend someone shooting a gun in without killing them. That's beautiful. And then he went out and caught 2 women who charged 4 black men with killing the cab driver. This is a joke. We need to stop that. But they did their job and went and got them 2 women. Thank God that poor young black men didn't have to get up, beat up all over the place and confess to something they didn't do. I'm sick and tired of some things that go on. Nothing we can do about it. It's the natural order of life. But Oscar, you have been wrong on a lot of things. I'm going to check you out later on the day, but not now. I love you, but you've been wrong a lot. And you don't keep your word. Sorry about that.
Okay. Anybody else?
Mr. Mayor, could I just ask Bill Arndt a question, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Right.
Bill, it's been said we've been breaking the law as far as the Smith Center is concerned. Is there a way you can get figures for us to let us know what is happening there as far as are we meeting the federal guidelines?
Certainly, I can do that, and we've been working very closely with the city attorney's office, and we feel that we're meeting the law, but as a policy, for all the reasons we talked about this morning, we think we can do better, and that's really going to be the subject of discussion.
Well,
at the
I'm
next
just
council
wondering
meeting.
on this one particular very large, significant entity coming into us now, the center.
Certainly.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you. Anybody else like to be heard? All right, then we'll go on to item number 7. This is agency member recognition. Comments made by individual agency members during this portion of the agenda will not be acted upon by the agency unless that subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. Would anybody like to speak at this time? All right, hearing none, then we'll. How long will you need, Ms. Bridges? Okay, we'll adjourn the redevelopment agency meeting now, and we'll start our regular city council meeting in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.